angry, Aussie, 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 angry, 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 Aussie, 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 angry, 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 angry.
Hot damn, starting us Sunday night stream. Anyone who's watching it back, how you doing? You're the only one here. Because in the temporal timeline that I'm in, there's no one in yet. I just got it's a big squeaky cork, that one. I like the sound of that. All right, Justin. Still Saturday night for you in Hawaii? Are you still in Hawaii? Putting that out of the way. And peeling some orange. Oh, this one's maintained fairly well. Some of them are an absolute bastard to peel at this point. Oh. That was a bit more bastardy. Okay. Spoke too soon, essentially. In Hawaii till Monday. Nice. Alright, gotta trim some pith. Okay. A little bit off the top, as they say in the classics. And a little something for the weekend, sir. Don't mind if I do. Ooh, yeah. I didn't think the time difference was that big. Oh, because you're Hawaii, not mainland USA. Yes. Yeah, 4 a.m. in New York. Yes, well, you're not in continental US. But it's like Australia. It's 3 hours difference coast to coast on continental US. And I'm going to get a cherry. Because I'd like to have a cherry. And not that many more cherries in this jar. Is that a full one? No, I think I deserve a second one. Gotcha. All right. Tend to get the incomplete cherries tend to be the last ones I get. I don't know what that's all about. Hey, Humfili and Safa, how are you doing? That may well be the case. But like I said, it's a 3 hour difference coast to coast. Yeah. I'm not planning on making any cocktail videos tonight, but, you know, it's planning to have a drink. I actually, you know what I'm thinking? I think it's officially eggnog season. I'm going to have some eggnog. Not that I ever stopped having eggnog. I've been making it year round. But I might compare. I've got my 1-year-old eggnog and then one I made a week or two ago. I don't even remember when I made it. And I'll compare them. It doesn't count when I say continental US. I mean, that main body of states, the main... but if we look at a map... yeah, I was just refreshing my memory. Yes, Alaska is north of Canada. So I guess Alaska counts as continental North America. I'm not that big an expert on geography. But yes, I guess when I was talking about the time zones, I was talking about the contiguous United States. 35 for you today. We're getting that around Christmas. It's all fictional, Justin. That whole thing with government spending and the debt ceiling and blah, 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 blah is fiction. We're just all agreeing on it. You instead of cleaning up the yard. Oh, well, I mean, bushfire season, I applaud you. Man, doing it in 35-degree heat. Oh, yeah, the video title. No, for real. Okay, so the explanation's in the body of the thing. It is the anniversary of an edict from Chairman Mao saying the intellectuals from the cities had to go and work on farms so they knew what a real worker was. That is literally an exact policy being pushed by Trumpy Republicans that, like an equivalent of national service, that they should make these young people work on a farm. And I was going like, yes, the Trumpies are Maoists. Anti-intellectual Maoists. It's brilliant. Oh, no. Parents got COVID. Yeah, no, it fucking sucks. Yeah, you're going to make them miserable at Christmas. That's not good at all. Damn. Okay, well, I hope for a speedy recovery. I've never had it bad, but had it multiple times, and it was kind of. I feel like I have very mild long COVID. I get these waves of tiredness that I never used to get, and yeah, okay, it's hard to tell because I'm old and everything, but I've been getting really good sleep, particularly since changing the nozzle on my CPAP machine. And I get this wave of tiredness that I never used to have. Well, because Russia's now a right-wing dictatorship, and Republicans have always loved right-wing dictatorships. Hey, Celtic, how are you doing? Yeah, no, it's... Oof. So that's what I'm saying. That is what I let in with. I think I've got... I don't think it's outlandish to say I think I've got a mild form of long COVID because I get these waves of just exhaustion. Not like I want to sleep, just like I'm physically kind of... There's no such thing as getting long COVID checked out, Safa, particularly not when it's really mild like mine. It's if you need treatment and support, you should talk to a doctor. Home for the elderly. Strange enough, hearing Republicans go on about no new wars under Trump and praising Russia. Well, there's the thing. The Maoists were dictators under the guise of communism. Putin grew up under the dictatorship of the Soviets, again, under the name of communism. Putin is not a communist. He's an authoritarian. But there's no question he's a dictator. And the friggin' Republicans have always loved dictators. Hawaii is definitely not part of North America because North America is a continent. And Hawaii is a group of islands. I'm pretty sure Hawaii is not Micronesia. Again, you are stretching my geography knowledge, but I think Micronesia is quite different. But again, we're in the internet. Micronesia, section of Oceania. Where is it on the map? Okay, let's see where it is. Here's a little map from Wikipedia. Okay, we're going to learn something tonight. So we're Australasia, like Australia and New Zealand. Polynesia, you can see all the islands over there. Melanesia, Micronesia, Mariana Islands, Marshall Islands, Palau. So no, quite a long way from Hawaii. Oh no, okay. There's. Oh, what are we doing here? Oh, okay. Damn it. Yes, more Polynesia. Oh God, what came up for flat earthers? What came up for flat earthers this week? I accidentally closed that map. I didn't mean to. See if I can bring it up again. I will just put it up again. Okay. So you see, Micronesia is more or less directly north of Australia. Well, right next to us is Melanesia, and then across from New Zealand is Polynesia. And it looks like Hawaii is at the northern tip of Polynesia. But yes, Hawaii is east of Micronesia and is in the far north of Polynesia. Our friends like Samoa, Cook Islands, Tuvalu, Fiji. So yeah, there we go. So a famous flat earther went to the Antarctica, saw the 24-hour sun, which is impossible in a flat earth. Oh, I think I saw something about that because they've got this fixation of there being an ice wall. And he, went to one of the poles and saw there wasn't an ice wall, and also saw evidence that soundly disproves the flat earth. Worked 2 night shifts at McDonald's. Not as many weirdos as there'd be because you're close to the police station. When I worked at McDonald's, used to do free meals for cops, just because that's essentially sending a message. Hey, cops could be in here at any time, so you don't want to cause shit. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Sun goes round like a circle. God, we could get into heavy discussion about, the nature of existence, the cosmos, life, the universe, and everything. I came across something recently that, and again, because I don't immerse myself in like atheist circles because I think they're a drag. Oh, you talk? Yeah, no. Okay, yes. The flat earthers say the sun goes around the flat earth. Yes. It's the Philippines, Micronesia. Wait, where's that map? Wait, where the? No, the Philippines seem to be to the west of Micronesia. They're not in Micronesia. They're, Asia Pacific. Actually, I want to find another map. That map is actually really shitting me. Where are we? Okay. So to the west of Micronesia, yeah, Philippines is like northwest of Micronesia. Indonesia's to the west of Micronesia. And then you start heading towards the Asian continent. Much further north is Japan. Don't know what happens at Narrow Store. I think they get discounts. Goes for all emergency services. Yeah, you could be right. What? No, it doesn't make any sense. It's logistically unsustainable. Like the absolute worst thing that would happen to us because of conflict with China is cutting off shipping lanes and isolating Australia. And that wouldn't be great. That would have just a whole cavalcade of problems. Won't do much good to go and take over. Yeah. It just would not make any sense to try and invade or take over Australia. But like I said, probably the worst thing, and it would be bad, would be cutting off the shipping lanes. Then Japan has native tribes. Yes. Very dark-skinned indigenous people. The Philippines also has dark-skinned indigenous people. So basically, because, Polynesians. Justin, shipping is relatively constrained. Despite the big, wide oceans, it is not particularly different. It's a very aggressive move to make, but severely fucking up shipping to Australia is actually comparatively easy. Completely stopping it, you're right, is almost impossible. But severely fucking up shipping to Australia is relatively easy. Just makes everything would have to take longer routes and take much longer to get here, and it would be a less safe journey. So more ships would be lost at sea. Yes. In essence, if China really wanted to fuck things up, they'd fuck up the shipping lanes. You dated Japanese a few years ago. That is a thing we get from the popular culture, that they do look down on the darker skinned Asians. Yes. Thanks, Celtic. I'd miss it if you didn't compliment the shirt. Yep. Someone going past with their stereo on too loud, like a complete dork loser. Yes, basically, what China could very easily do is completely fuck up our economy, make everything way more expensive, and just make life here a lot less happy, which would require radical action from an Australian government. And I don't know if anyone in politics here has the guts to do radical things that would be required in that sort of situation. Good thing the relationship with China is though. It doesn't make any sense from either side for Australia and China to be in conflict. There's toadying to the United States, but doesn't really make a lot of sense for the US either. But who fucking knows in this wild and crazy and fucked up world what the fuck is going to happen in the next few years? I honestly think anyone who says they know exactly what's going to happen is full of shit. Because there are just too many variables. I'm gonna do my barrel-aged old-fashioned. Did I put it in here? No, I did not. Which means I put it in here. There it is. That's interesting. A bit of sediment in there. It's like the Phantom Menace is how to blockade Australia. I love that Star Wars makes no fucking sense whatsoever if you think about it for more than a few seconds. They do the things where there's worlds, like it's a swamp world or an ice world or a desert world. Because, that's what planets are. Planets are all one thing. And they just got this fixation with, a planet is all one thing, which is stupid. But also, like, blockading a planet? The fuck do you blockade a planet? For fuck's sake. That is so much space to patrol. You could make it more expensive. You could make it more difficult. But, it's an unsustainable thing. And the idea of a galaxy-spanning empire is fucking stupid. Because you just look at Earth, how empires fall, because it's ultimately impossible to maintain an empire for more than a couple of centuries before it collapses, because it's too difficult to manage. But if you were actually controlling stuff that was where the different solar systems, places that were light years apart, it's just like you couldn't do it. Justin, that's fucking made up. Okay. Also, the intelligence community, 9 times out of 10, is making shit up to advance political ends. But just arbitrarily saying, oh, China's going to invade Taiwan in 2028. That's utter horseshit. That's not to say that as the world turns, it won't happen. But anyone going, oh, in 2028, China's going to Britain, that's fucking horseshit. It's just, like watching one of these shows where they say Venezuela's a nuclear threat to the United States. Just unmitigated horseshit. Oh, I bet Putin says a whole lot of things, Safa. Talking about Ukraine. Well, he did invade earlier. He's been doing all sorts of ridiculous shit, but I think, as I mentioned, when he first did it, there's almost no doubt that he thought that would be like wham bam, thank you, ma'am, he'd get what he wanted, or he would get enough of what he wanted that Ukraine would capitulate, and he'd get whatever he wanted. I've said this multiple times on streams. There's a phrase in politics called a short victorious war, and it's often what desperate governments do when they're failing and they are viewed very negatively in the public eye. You know, they declare an enemy and they launch a war, an invasion, whatever, someone they think they will overpower almost straight away. Like there will be a very short engagement. They will emerge victorious. And on the wave of nationalism and national pride, everything will be good for them again. And history is full of cases with despotic or desperate governments thinking they're going to launch a short victorious war and it blowing up in their face. And that's right, Safi. Yeah, he took Crimea with virtually no problem. He definitely thought Ukraine wouldn't be the problem it has been. That would be fun, actually, Justin. Find a flat planet and actually send them there. As you say, in this great and varied cosmos, anything can happen. I think, as how we understand physics, it wouldn't be possible for a flat planet to have an atmosphere. But there could be something, you know, which would essentially be cosmic debris. Maybe the debris from an asteroid hitting a planet or something. So a very large, flat-ish thing that you could effectively call a flat planet. It's perfectly possible that could exist, you know, with the billions of galaxies that have billions of solar systems, and each of those have God knows how many planets. Something that approximates a flat planet could. Well, again, this is where you're getting to my limited knowledge of astronomy and the physics around a planet having an atmosphere. I don't think a non-spherical planet can actually hold an atmosphere. I'd love for someone who actually knows what they're talking about to correct me. Well, they sure look flat when we look at them, Rottweiler dude. Putin wouldn't invade Ukraine had nuclear weapons. Yes. Well, you know, it's a whole thing. The fallout of the Cold War arms race, you know, just meant fucking nukes all over the place. When I got this old Violent Femme song stuck in my head, American Music, came up on a randomized playlist today. And it's a good tune. I just had this idea that I want to be like in a power pop punk band and do a cover version of it at twice speed. I think that would work. Anyone want an old dude who can't sing to front their power pop band? Hit me up. We were talking about heat earlier. What are they still predicting for Christmas here? Wow, a relatively cool day tomorrow, 19, and probably a bit of rain. 22 Tuesday, then 30 for Christmas Day and 40 for Boxing Day. And those keep sort of changing back and forth by a couple of degrees. So who the heck knows what's actually going to happen on Wednesday and Thursday here. But hot anyway. Stream on Christmas Eve. Yeah, okay. Is anyone going to be here if I do a stream on Christmas Eve? Because I'm not really planning to do anything apart from a stream on Christmas Eve. Oh, have you building things? Have you read up on Dyson spheres. They're interesting. A theoretical construct that surrounds an entire sun and uses the nuclear energy from the sun to do incredible things. I think they're regarded as a serious, if abstract, theoretical possibility. Oh, man. Tell you what, that barrel-aged old-fashioned... Well, so I've got to do a Christmas Eve stream because that was when I was going to taste what's in the barrel. Oh, man, I kept meaning to look up the White Possum website today to see if they say something about their barrels. White Possum Distilling. Okay. Okay. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Did it get fire smoke? Yeah. A couple of times this week, we've had really weird light because the sunlight was being filtered through the smoke. Things got real orange. Going into the office tomorrow, I have a pretty good view of where the fires are. So it's going to be interesting to see what the smoke looks like. Okay, what was I going to do? Okay, I was going to show you what I was looking at on White Possum. No. So they're selling gin Christmas decorations. Nice. Ooh, a flask. Tasting flights, liqueurs, limited edition spirits, glassware and bar tools. Barrels, that's what we want. Okay. So these are the only people I know who make 1 litre barrels. All the other places I've seen selling them make the smallest is 2 litre, which is too big. And you can also get new make spirit from them, which is fun because then that's unaged whiskey. Ooh, they do peated. Damn. Oh, I might have to get a peated new make spirit from them. Damn. No, I'm like on the 14th floor. The building goes higher. I could go up higher. Hey, Greg, you'll be around. Okay, well, I'm going to do a Christmas Eve stream then. We'll see how long we go. Just you remember scientists saying they could... Oh, yeah, no. It's always like first time they see an anomaly, it's like, yeah, look at it. And it's never aliens. It's just never aliens. Every time someone says, oh, is this aliens? No, it isn't aliens. It's something unusual, and we may or may not work out what it is eventually, but it's not fucking aliens. It's never fucking aliens. Because if we agree that the speed of light is a constant and biological life forms couldn't accelerate at more than a very small fraction of it, and there's no such thing as hyperspace or wormholes or whatever that get around that limitation. And that means to span across the galaxy, you'd have to do generation ships, like colonizing ships that multiple generations would live on as it traveled to. So it would take millions of years to colonize. And it took us billions of years just to get where we are. We could well be one of the youngest civilizations in the universe. Or maybe not. Who the fuck knows? It's a big and mysterious place. But it's not aliens, okay? Whenever you see anything, it isn't aliens. Merry earlymas to you too, Redfoot. And yes, I have that. I have 3. Well, I had 4, and one of them I took out of commission because I aged some eggnog in it, which was a fun experiment. But I didn't trust it after that because it had creamy stuff, and I thought it would grow fungus on the inside. So I've got 3 of those barrels in operation. You watched the Godzilla Kong movie. Is that the one where Kong wears brass knuckles? I haven't seen the most recent one. All right. So they've actually marked down those barrels from 1997. Man, maybe it's time to get a new barrel. But yeah, the fact that they're doing a peated new make spirit, super tempted to get that and make my own peated whiskey. What is there anything on here that explains? Maybe I should send, because I want to think like 6 months in those barrels is like how long in a big barrel? Because I think it's like 3 years. Oh, they're doing spirit subscriptions again. Okay, this is what I get. Okay, so spirit subscriptions. Oh, not taking new subscribers. Sucks to be everyone else because I've already got a subscription. Oh, there, that's Wolf Lane that I got most recently. All right. Now, they don't have anything about how much the barrels age. Tasting flights, spirits, cocktail supplies, candles. Their cocktail flights are, cocktail flights. I've had their spirit flights. No, not Negronis. Fuck Negronis. Espresso, okay. Espresso martinis and Negronis. Well, fuck that. But their spirit tasting flights, they're great, actually. So you can get, let's see, whiskey tasting flight, gin tasting flight, rum tasting flight, pink gin tasting set, peated single malt tasting set. There's a waiting list on a couple of them. Okay. Victorian single malt tasting set, Australian agave tasting set, Western Melbourne gin, South Australian gin. Ooh, get a triple, whiskey, gin, and rum. Save by getting multiples. Liqueur samples. No, whiskey tasting. Man, okay, their whiskey tasting flights are freaking fun, honestly. I've had them before. Anyway, they don't have a thing about how big a difference the little barrels make. Given Earth was in the first 10% of planets. Yes, that is a commonly held, not universally, but commonly held scientific opinion. We are probably one of the older civilizations in the universe. And given that, and again, if we accept physics and the limit on how fast humans could go in a spaceship, and there's no such thing as hyperspace or wormholes that let you cheat, it would be minimum millions of years before we run into an intelligent alien species, because it would just take that long to propagate outward. So the whole thing about why I'm just so straight away when someone says aliens, no. Do aliens that either are already intelligent or will become intelligent exist somewhere out in the universe? It's a statistical near certainty. Nothing's absolutely certain, but it's a statistical near certainty that alien life exists. And by that, I mean something that either is or is going to become an intelligent alien life exists. It's a near statistic certainty. And it's just no one's met them because they just haven't. People are either delusional, deliberately lying, or have just made a mistake. Oh, that's a nice random one, Safa. COVID in the 80s would have sucked. COVID in the 90s would have sucked. COVID in the noughties would have sucked. As you say, because we have internet. COVID in the 80s would have absolutely crashed the world economy and had a death toll like 10 times higher than what we had, just conservatively. And that's even, saying we could have got, if we got a vaccine in the same time frame, it's just because there would have been no working from home for anyone. So either you're not working, you got no money, economy crashes, or everyone goes to work and just massively higher death toll. COVID, look, any pandemic, anytime fucking sucks. Imagine if we found there was much. Yeah, there wasn't. There absolutely wasn't. Justin, that is probably true. And again, the 1918 flu pandemic killed so many fucking people. But also life was really different. It wasn't as urbanized and all that sort of thing. It was pretty urbanized, but it was not as urbanized. Like COVID without vaccines or COVID without the internet, minimum 10 times the death toll. And because all the stupid people came up with their stupid conspiracies and they feel really empowered at the moment, if we get another pandemic, we're fucked because fuckwits are just going to play politics. It's going to suck. Like, people who know what they're talking about are super fucking worried about avian influenza at the moment and mutations of it and human-to-human transmission of it, which, so far as we know, hasn't happened or is not widespread yet. And look, here's hoping. It's more likely that it won't happen, that we won't get another really nasty pandemic in the foreseeable future, but it's a really distinct possibility. And I don't like to think how it will go. Like, just thinking, Trump, US president, if something really bad happened in the next 4 years, I do not hold out a lot of hope for what would happen. Safa, no, there are not too many humans currently alive. Is the distribution of wealth between humans too imbalanced at the moment? Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Every time in history when wealth distribution has been this imbalanced, something real serious happened. You had a co-worker had COVID a day before you left. Damn. Yeah, well, it's the thing. It's a real friggin' dice roll. Like, I was really pissed off. Like, Mrs. Anger and I both got it last time, and it was just like, what the fuck? We weren't even doing anything high risk. Fuck that. That's really annoying. So, but it is what it is. Oh, good for you, Justin. As we've discussed, there's a few reasons people don't get it. Part of it's luck. Part of it's your constitution and what immunities you have. Actually, that's a good question. I don't think they do. I don't think anyone asks about COVID anymore. I could be wrong. I could very easily be wrong. So I'm actually interested, Justin, on your trip. Was there ever anything at any of the onboarding or offboarding asking about COVID exposure? Because my guess is no, they're not doing that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. I didn't want to make an assumption because I'm not an international traveler. But yeah, I didn't think they did it anymore. Do 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 do. That old fashioned's pretty yummy. I watched this video on YouTube. It was like 12 different styles of bartenders make an old fashioned, and Jesus, they were a mixed bunch. There were probably only 2 in the lot. Oh, actually, for fun, I'm going to see if I can find it. Where are we? YouTube. Let's see if I can find bartenders make old fashioned. Yes, okay. It was on the Epicurious site. I'm gonna because they do like a Brady Bunch thing of the bartenders. There's 11 bartenders in 11 different styles. Okay, now I'm going to show you how they classified these. I'll share the screen because that's the thing I do, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not going to play the video. I'm just going to show this. Okay, so full screen. There's a club bartender, a tiki bartender, an experimental bartender, a craft bartender, Japanese style bartender, home bartender, neighborhood bartender, steakhouse bartender, flair bartender, speed bartender, classic bartender. The 2 I'd kind of go to were the steakhouse bartender and the classic bartender. But I would be scared to say it to the steakhouse bartender because she looked like she could snap me like a twig. I like the neighborhood bartender. She was no nonsense and made a really simple. Actually, the home bartender one kind of sucked. He kind of did a shit job. The Japanese style bartender was, of course, really interesting. He did a mezcal and Japanese whiskey mix, but then instead of bitters, he made this matcha tea with coconut water rather than regular water and put that in. So his old fashioned was green because he'd made it with matcha. You think that maybe he's on YouTube, but his old fashioned was fucking shit. Or okay, maybe being a bit harsh. Didn't look good to me though. Look, I'll see if I can. Let's do the. Where are we? Who was first? Okay, the craft bartender was first. I liked his. He was no nonsense. Oh, this lady. Okay, hers is like no. It was muddled cherry and orange, and I'm just like no. Also, I would not say it to her face because she would definitely fuck me up. Who's next? Oh, sorry, who's this? Kitty Bernardo from a tiki bar with a painted on. I fucking love their painted on eyebrows, honestly. Theirs was interesting. Oh god, they had a spam infused mezcal in theirs. Spam fried rice old fashioned. Yeah. Club bartender, hers was fine. Craft bartender. I know he was the experimental bartender. His was fine. Hers, she did the muddled fruit thing. No. Oh, okay. This guy, he's the flair bartender. So he does this shit that really annoys me with throwing the utensils around. And I find that shit really tiresome. But then he used 2.5 ounces of whiskey in the cocktail. So he's my friend. She's a I think she was like a speed bartender because she was in a nightclub. Hers was fine. Oh, the Japanese bartender. Like, look what his looks like in the end. It's making look, it's green. It's fucking green. It probably tastes good or at least interesting, but he puts matcha in it, so it's green. Yeah, this guy, the home bartender, his was not good. And her, the neighborhood bartender, she wanted to make the no fuss version, and she just built it. Where are we? She just built it in the glass. I reckon it would have been fine. But yeah, that's my take on all the bartenders making an old fashioned. Oh, okay. I'll share the video on the Discord. Under cocktails. I'll put it under cocktails. And it is interesting because some of them are radically different. And it's going to come down to what you like. But once they get into like muddling the cherry and the orange, I'm like, no, don't do that. But yeah, I should never go to fucking. He looks like he's about 20 years younger than me, Safa. Oh God, I didn't get the joke. That was a joke. Okay. Yeah, no. Apart from he looks 20 years younger. And I'm fairly judgmental of his old-fashioned, quite honestly. Oh, but he did this thing where he rubbed the citrus, and I'm like, dude, you do not fucking rub the garnish you're putting in my drink. I don't want your sweaty paws. Or it's one thing that you twist it, but rubbing it, ugh, no, gross. And yes, and he has a tiny little head. Not a huge, majestic head. You know what? I'm going to go and get some eggnog, as I say. And that might take me a minute or two, so maybe I'll put some music on. Ooh, and they've changed it to media assets. Good-o. Where is the lo-fi beats? All right, I'm back. Are you like the new Godzilla Kong movies? Skull Island was not bad. Yeah. I haven't seen the most recent one. Seeing it. Anyway, okay. So this is my 1-year-old eggnog, and this is one I made a week or two ago. You know, like the low res camera. I think just picking up this one's darker. I think I made this one with white sugar, caster sugar. Made this with my brown sugar syrup. And this is like more traditional rum, brandy, whiskey mix. And this is tequila, brandy, and sherry. It was meant to be just tequila and sherry, and I decided it wasn't boozy enough. And I added brandy. Ooh, okay. I have questions about this. Like, okay, it's very. I feel like it's tasting like sour cream, which makes me think it is actually turning. Mmm. Okay. Well, the sign will be if I end up vomiting and shitting during the night, if I've given myself food poisoning with that. Damn. Oh god, is that what's that guy's name? The comedian who's playing the Lost World War II pilot? Is it him saying these things? Life, love, lady, is the sea. Okay, I really have questions about that. It did not taste like that the last time I tasted it. That was only a couple of weeks ago. Oof. Oh, wow. I am not sure. Oh, that's a song called Brandy. Okay, there you go. Is it cherry $15 a kilo? These $20 a jar. That's the cheapest. They're up to $25 a jar, depending where you get them. All right. This is my most recent eggnog. Oh, that's really fucking tasty. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Staying at the New York hotel in Vegas with a fake skyline on it. God, so long since I've been to Vegas. Vegas, baby, Vegas. That is definitely tasting like sour cream. Oof. Maybe I won't go into the office tomorrow because maybe I'll be violently sick during the night. Dr. Abigail, hello. 3D printing next iteration of Ice Cube Maker. Nice. Oh, well, you know, if it's for me, I'll sponsor some filament. No, I haven't worn a mask in ages. Hmm. Mm. Friggin' tasty, man. Oof. I just love taking risks, drinking something that might be off dairy products. Damn. That'll probably, oh, well, on the plus, it'll probably kick in real quick. If it's gone bad. See, that's weak. Gotta live a little. What's life without risks? It was built in 99. Lucky they didn't put a mock World Trade Center. Damn. Don't think about it too much, Home for the Elderly. It's probably fine. Alcohol is a wonderful disinfectant. Neck minute, yeah. Well, food poisoning does usually kick in pretty quickly, like within an hour. So, yeah. It's a while since I've had it. I know. Having a World Trade Center post 9/11, what would you do? Holy shit, I saw this video today. I shared it on social. Some weird school in America, in a school assembly, the kids are doing an interpretive dance about 9/11. And it was so weird because I was just kind of scrolling through Twitter and I didn't have sound on. I was just going, oh, what's that? And so I thought, it's kind of lame cheerleading. What are they doing? And eventually I worked out, oh, this is an interpretive dance recreation of 9/11. And I was just going, what the fuck? Yeah, like Zoomers are weirdly fascinated with the 9/11. Yeah, because it happened before they were born. So I was like, damn. What for dinner? I made some mini pizzas. Speaking of things that might give me food poisoning, some leftover butter chicken in the fridge. Although that would have already made me sick if it was going to make me sick because I had that hours ago. Damn, I am not at all sure about this. Well, we'll see what happens to me. Your sister was 9 months old when it happened. I still remember because some Australians were still awake when it happened. So they saw it on late night news and people stayed up all night going, what the fuck? I didn't. I'd gone to bed and did have a TV in my bedroom at that time. And it was on in the morning news. And I was just looking at it. And my partner at the time, she's going like, what the fuck is this? And it was some handheld video footage that had been shot by someone who was on the street. And there was this ticker tape about, planes hit World Trade Center collapse. And I was going, this is a movie? What? And I just thought it was a movie because it was so unreal. Loki needs some movie. Yeah, hit me up on the Discord, definitely. Yes. Well, I'm asking you to use a lot of stuff for it. You were between jobs when 9/11 happened. Spent the entire day watching news. Yeah, I was fucking confused. Yeah, I was just looking at it going, this isn't real. And it took a little while to penetrate that it was real. The footage I was seeing was actually a doctor who'd been not far from Ground Zero. For some reason, had a video camera because phones weren't video cameras back then. And he's recording as he's thinking, can he go and help? And he's saying things like, wow, I hope I don't die. You were young and confused because Pokemon wasn't on. Yeah, it was really weird. We had a couple of days of just non-stop loops of this happening. And then people collectively thought, hey, maybe we're traumatizing everyone by playing it over and over. So they thought maybe they should stop playing it over and over. I swear, okay, that eggnog made this eggnog taste funny. Why do you say that? They got to happen before social media. Yep. If it hadn't been filmed, who the fuck knows? Your grandpa was a babysitter for Russian Jews in New York when the Twin Towers fell. There you go. Yeah, the wild bit of footage was, I think it was a French documentary crew who were making a documentary about the New York Fire Department, and they were with a fire unit, and they were filming, and because the jet came in so low, it was just this screaming noise, and they were only a couple of blocks from the World Trade Center, and they had a clear view of it. And when this screaming noise was overhead, the cameraman reflexively went up to see it, and it's the jet, and he just tracks it, hits the building, and kabloom, and they're all like, what the fuck? Various people blame the Democrats anyway. Oh, yeah, well, there was 9/11 recordings were released. People who were talking to 9/11 when the building, people who were in the building talking to 9/11 when the building collapsed, those recordings were released. Well, you know, the right wingers had a field day without social media. It's like, you know, we're all rightly worried about deep fakes and AI and false. People have willingly believed absolutely false things throughout history without high-tech fakes. They just get told something and they go, oh, yeah. In fact, when I was looking up things that happened on this day to, you know, name the stream, it is actually the anniversary of the start of the Dreyfus affair. A French officer was falsely accused of, I think, trying to overthrow the government. He was Jewish, and so it was massive amounts of anti-Semitism were involved in accusing him. And there was no evidence. A whole bunch of people thought he was guilty, and he was prosecuted and convicted, even though the charges were totally false. Maybe if people could have, as you say, if people could have live streamed from within the buildings before they went down, that would be a special sort of fucked up. But, you know, people have always done fucked up things. I'm gonna do some mineral water. Is what's the name of the Aussie Governor General? What have I missed? What did I say that I don't remember? Ugh. Have some mineral water. Wash away the eggnog that might be off and might be poisoning me. Fine so far. Dreyfus. I don't know who the Governor General is at the moment. You know. And there's the Hollywood actor who's gone all Trumpy and conspiracy, Richard Dreyfuss. He's an asshole. Let's have a look. Who's the Governor General at the moment? Because I don't give a shit, so I don't know. Governor General of Australia. Who's the current Governor General of Australia? Sam Mostyn? Oh, yeah. We have a woman Governor General at the moment, sworn in 1 July 2024. Sam Mostyn. There you go. Representative of the monarch. List of governors general. Okay. Who was immediately before Sam Mostyn? No, David Hurley, Peter Cosgrove. Don't know where you were getting Dreyfus from. There was no Dreyfus. Quentin Bryce, Michael Jeffrey, Peter Hollingsworth, William Dean, Bill Hayden, Ninian Stephen, Zelman Cowan, John Carr. They were all sirs for the longest time. From 1969, Sir Paul Hossack, Sir John Kerr, Sir Zelman Cowan, Sir Ninian Stephen, Bill Hayden, who was old school Labour, refused to be a Sir, Sir William Dean, Peter Hollingsworth, Michael Jeffrey, there you go, Dame Quentin Bryce. We had a few military people. Major General Michael Jeffrey, General Peter Cross. Oh, he's a Sir as well. General David Hurley. There you go. Elon Musk can't run for president. Not without a constitutional amendment. Oh, you meant Attorney General. There you go. Yes, Governor General, Attorney General, two very different things. But you know that. All right. Hooly dooly. Okay, so Christmas Eve. Okay. If I haven't given myself food poisoning and I'm still recovering, I might. Will I have more of this? Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop drinking it. There's a little bit. I'm going to stop. You know what? I don't know if it's something else I drank that influenced the taste of it. I need to try something. I don't know a lot of detail, but Elon Musk has gone from being ignored and mocked by Trump to sucking up really hard to Trump to paying, by some accounts, $250 million to PACs to help get Trump elected, to now people are suggesting he has a fair degree of influence over Trump. So my understanding, which is limited and possibly flawed, is that Musk thinks the debt ceiling shouldn't be raised and they should force a government shutdown. He wants to force a crisis because he believes then you can kill all these government departments and private enterprise can take over. That's what I think is happening. I could be wrong, but that's what I think is happening. But they won't let it happen because there's too many vested interests. Now, what influence Musk actually has over a Trump administration, who the fuck knows? I'm getting the vibe Musk thinks he will have a bigger influence over the Trump administration, but who actually knows? I think, as with almost everything, everyone in Trump's first term, Trump and Musk will have a really over-the-top explosive falling out. It's just a question of how long it'll take. So Dr. Abigail saying Musk threatened on Twitter to put millions of dollars towards campaigns to oust Republicans. Yes, I do remember that. Yes, he said if Republicans voted to continue funding the government, he'd put millions towards getting them primaried. I don't know. Did he backtrack? I don't know. Saying the Republicans have a slim majority. Yeah, who knows? Because it certainly doesn't take many people to change their vote or abstain from voting if your majority is that narrow. I very strongly suspect Musk is grossly overestimating the degree of influence he will have over Trump, but who the fuck knows? Well, where's Ray's when you want him? There is an extremely boring and pathetic loser in the comments trying to get a reaction. And I'm just going to drop kick them because they're just boring and pathetic. But Ray's would have had a lot of fun just unloading both barrels on. He's going to be really upset next because he's probably working tonight. Next time we see him, if I say, "Oh yeah, we actually had a fucking loser that it would have been really funny to see you go to town on them," but he's not here. He's going to miss out. He's going to be very upset. He's always disappointed when he misses sad fuck losers that he could rip into. I'm not even bothering because sad fucking pathetic losers who aren't worth the effort, honestly. Just like embarrassing, just low value, self-important dorks who think they count for shit. That's the funniest thing to me. Just worthless fucking losers who can't do anything but regurgitate talking points that they've absorbed. They've got nothing. They've got no intellect. Justin, the loser, is actually on YouTube, so I'm surprised you can't see them. They've got no intellect. They've got nothing behind them. Like they just fucking suck. They're pathetic. It's really embarrassing just the degree to which they've got nothing. Yeah, I can't even really be bothered. Back in the day, yeah, I'm a big fan of your mum stuff. But you know. So they're sad and worthless, so they go bye-byes. Because they're just so low effort. It's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's like, I'm gonna trigger the libs. You're not really, because champ, you are not worth shit. It's just like it's like, dude, you fucking suck so much. Now, I think they said something about me being British, which does speak to an American with a very limited life experience and very sheltered upbringing and no fuck all about the world. Yeah, you saw that too, Justin. Yeah. So real fucking thick as shit motherfucker. You know. I certainly don't drink enough tea to be English. Although I got this tea from the supermarket the other day because I want to use it in cocktails and or syrups. And it's this particular tea, and they promote it as tasting like tea and biscuits. I mean, it is always funny as someone with a channel called Angry Aussie, the number of Americans who say something about me being British. It's very embarrassing. Yeah, it's just another troll. Yeah. No, they were just real boring. You were drinking tea. There you go. So I got this tea that's supposed to taste like tea and biscuits. The same maker made one that's supposed to taste like jam on toast. I thought, no, the tea and biscuits one, I think I could use that to make a syrup, maybe. I haven't done it yet, but I am. It's just wait. Mrs. Angry tells me it's a really strong tea. So I was thinking I could use it as an infusion in a cocktail, but I'm thinking of using it to make a syrup. Like basically make some tea and then like 1 part tea to 2 parts sugar to make a really rich syrup, but with this flavor. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Trolls can be entertaining, and I have had people come in and be troll and have a go at me, and I've found them entertaining. I found them funny. That one was very low effort. I think South Australians, of all the Australian accents, Adelaideans are the sort of most English sounding. That's my take anyway. I don't like coffee at all, but I do have a coffee infused whiskey. So when I'm making a cocktail and the recipe says use some espresso coffee, I use this coffee infused whiskey, and that's fine. You reckon WA has an English accent? That's not my experience, but yeah. The VD letters were funny because they were so unhinged and they were like really long and single spaced. And it's like, why is this dude putting so much effort into this? He stopped being funny when he would just throw slurs in all the time. I'm not going to platform slurs even as a joke. You get mistaken for English by Americans. Yeah. It happened to me when I was in America too, people thinking I was English. Home theater, you do coffee and vodka. Espresso martini. The anti-angry Aussie cocktail. Nice. Well, I have done a clarified espresso martini, which I didn't mind, because coffee is actually acidic enough to curdle milk. So I got a canned coffee from the supermarket. And I think I maybe did put some citrus in it anyway to make sure it curdled. And I didn't use vodka. Or maybe I used vodka. It was so long ago, I don't remember. But I did a clarified espresso martini, which was okay. Dubbo accent. I think I got called gay all the time in Dubbo because I didn't talk like everyone else. Yeah, there are a couple that you could call the anti-angry Aussie cocktail. The screwdriver would be one. Anything with coffee, anything with Campari, like a Negroni. A Dubbo accent's a bit more like this. Yeah, I reckon maybe, mate. It'd be a bit more like this. Just a little bit more nasal, a little bit like this. Not that far away from mine, but I did regularly get called gay because of the way I talked. Because I pronounce words. Yeah, Dubbo's just a kind of bogan accent. But not okay, you get my favorite one was the kids who were first generation and with migrant parents, but the migrant parents could be Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, or Asian, and the kids all have the same. Well, what are you talking about, mate? What's all that about? Just that. What are you going to call that? It's that it's like Western suburbs, and you get. No, you don't have. You have some interesting. You actually do have some artifacts from the Russian in your accent, I think. Just very slight. Bogan with the 80s accent. AIDS had a really funny word for that Western suburbs accent. Children of migrants. I can't remember it. It is a stereotype that people with higher education sound a bit more British, yes. My favorite is definitely Northern Territory because they almost sound like Darwin accents. Every now and then someone from Darwin gets on the and they're talking like this. They talk quite slowly and it's fairly nasal and it really sounds like self-parody. But that is how a lot of people in the territory talk. And I think it's because of the fucking heat. They can't be bothered speaking any faster because it's too damn hot to use energy talking fast. AZ was way better with regional accents than me. So even I noticed this was a thing on no, Dubbo people don't talk as slow as territory people, but it's a bit more Aussie, it's a bit more bogan, it's a bit more nasal, and it's going to be like, I don't know what their fucking problem is, mate, and what's going on there. It is slower than people from, say, Sydney. I think they think people from Sydney talk too fast, but they don't talk. It's not like the territory. They do not talk slower. Even people from Dubbo hear accents from the territory, and they're like, "The fuck are you doing?" You tell Americans Steve Irwin had the equivalent of the US Southern accent. Kinda. He did have that. He has a very provincial Queensland accent. Crikey, what's all that? And he was exaggerating. I don't reckon that was the way he normally talked. But I reckon the fucking Darwin accent is the Southern accent. My favorite regional accent. I don't know. AZ was really big on people in Melbourne and Sydney talk different. And I apparently talk more like someone from Melbourne. As I've been here over 27 years, that makes sense. But he's talking about like Sydney people have this glottal thing. And I heard some Triple J announcers talking about the Australian act Gautier, whose name, G-O-T-Y-E, was a joke on the Italian designer Gautier, whose name is spelled Gaultier. And I was saying to him, like, why the fuck are these people on Triple J pronouncing his name Gaultier when there's not even an L in there? It's just a joke thing. And he's going, they're not pronouncing an L. They're from Sydney. I'm like, what? And he goes, listen to them more closely. I was like, yeah, they were just doing this weird. They were saying Gautier, but there was this weird glottal thing where they're going Gautier. And it's like they were putting an L in there. And that's part of the Sydney accent. Where did Stephen grow up? I don't know. I assumed he grew up in Queensland. I could be wrong. He just always sounded so excited, which I'm sure was put on. But who knows? I didn't know him. I don't know a goddamn thing about him. And that's the thing. Mrs. Angry, born in England, Australians will say she sounds English. English will definitely say she sounds Australian. It's all a question of perspective and what you're hearing. It's an interesting exhibit at the Immigration Museum. Ah, nice. To check it out one day. Your mum's accent, very Ukrainian, is she? Because we had a very rich mix of accents post World War II from all parts of Europe, from the Mediterranean through to the Baltic. Everything got real different after World War II. She's Russian but spent 30 years in Australia. Mrs. Angry's old neighbor was ex-Russian. If you believe her, and she was kind of crazy, but she had danced with the Bolshoi ballet, and she was like a stereo. Try and do Russian accent. No, that's really bad. Don't do that. She had a very stereotypical Russian accent, though. I mean, I can pick the British influence in Mrs. Angry's voice. It is very clear. Your aunt by marriage. Her maiden name was Irwin. Oh, she was actually related, was she? There you go. Hey, Earth W, narcissist billionaires using each other. Oh yeah, no, I mentioned that a bit earlier. I am quite sure Trump and Musk are going to have an extremely explosive falling out. It's just a question of how long it takes. It could happen before Trump's inaugurated. It might take years. Um, I can't. I very confidently predict they will have just wow, such an aggressive, nasty falling out. So if 4 years pass and it doesn't happen, someone remember that was my big prediction and tell me, dickhead, you don't know shit. But I think it'll happen. Safi, you deliberately tried to turn down your Eastern European accent. Yeah. It's funny. You, like I was saying before, you have like artifacts in your accent. Your accent mainly sounds Australian country, but with some really interesting inflections, which I think is the Eastern European. Imagine finding out, like, that'd be fine. I don't know. Wouldn't worry me. I went to school with someone called Irwin, who's almost definitely not related because it was, well, I'm older than Steve Irwin. I think I'm older than Steve Irwin was, Well, he's not getting any older. Actually, now I want to look that up. When was he born? Steve Irwin. When was he born? Oh, Christ, he was older than me. I didn't think he was older than me. Damn. Died at 44, though. But he's 4 years older than me. 4.5 years, 4 years older than me. I just love cause of death. Stingray injury to the heart. How fucking many people have that as their cause of death? That's goddamn. That was such, for someone who took so many risks and there's so many ways he could have died, that stingray spike to the heart was so fucking weird. Hey, yeah, Hannah, how are you doing? Celebrating Christmas with, Wonder Baby. Nice. If there's one thing you know about conservative politicians, they end up eating themselves. Oh, yeah. No. They're definitely going to do that. You're going to lots of rain for the Olympics? I know. Stingray barb to the heart as a way of dying. What even is that? Stingray to the heart feels the same level of vicious paper cut. Yeah. It was just like, you would expect, like, if he got killed by a miscalculation in his park and a croc got him, or if he was bitten by a venomous snake and died, you just go, yeah, of course. Or if he fell, like doing one of his adventure things, and he fell, you'd go, yeah, of course, that was going to happen. But a fucking stingray barb to the heart? What the fuck? That's just like, I can't wrap my head around that. That is so what? It's just like, oh my God. How does that even happen? Well, we know how it happened, but yeah. Yeah, it's a stab wound from a ray instead of an SJ. Yeah, I don't know if the venom from the ray contributed to his death or if it was literally just being fucking stabbed. Well, obviously he was, yeah. Was that? I don't know if that's folklore or true. Because, yeah, it was for a show. Damn. Oh God, you know what you reminded me of, Justin? The Werner Herzog compiled documentary Grizzly Man. There was this dude in I know, venomous, but there's a not necessarily completely superfluous. Like it might have caused paralysis. Like getting stabbed in the heart is bad, but he might not have been stabbed deeply in the heart. I tend to think you're right, Dr. Abigail, but I don't actually know. Anyway, there was this dude in America who's convinced he could build like an Iron Man suit that would protect him from grizzly bear attacks. And he actually would do it and get slapped around by grizzlies in this thing. And anyway, one of his times when he was out camping on this whole thing, I'm going to test my suit against grizzlies. A grizzly bear attacked the campsite and killed him. But because he was out there doing a documentary, he had recording gear. It wasn't recorded on film or video, but the audio was recorded of him being killed by this grizzly. And Werner Herzog was making a doco about him, and the family gave him this stuff. They said, like, we haven't listened to this. Tell us what you think. And it's in Herzog's documentary, and he's got headphones on and he's listening to it. And he goes, and he takes the headphones off and said, you should destroy this and never listen to it. So, Safa, super in this case means extra. It means, it's like, yes, it's more than necessary. Oh, if you were 15 minutes behind. That happens. Jude. Hello, Jude, by the way. Grizzly beers. Yeah, they know how to open cans and stuff. What's this? Celtic. As Neil Patrick Harris making a cake of Amy one. I have not heard that. All right, now you're compelling me to look it up. Neil Patrick Harris and Amy Winehouse cake, auto-completed. Okay, it's on Snopes, the urban legend site. Okay. Neil Patrick Harris had a cake made to resemble Amy Winehouse's corpse. A mixture. Oh my goodness. Neil Patrick Harris faced backlash after a photo went viral on social media showing a buffet platter resembling Amy Winehouse's body at a Halloween party 3 months after her death. Corpse-inspired Halloween dish was not a cake. Oh, okay. It wasn't a cake. It was a meat-based creation. Oh my God. So he did do a thing. Okay, Neil Patrick Harris, Amy Winehouse, photos. I'm not a robot. Fuck off. Someone trying to force me to accept notifications. Fuck you, you weasel fuck. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find another site that links it. This is one from the New York Post. Oh, okay. There's a partial photo. It's very zombie-ish. Okay. I'm making an executive decision to not show it, but you can find it if you search a bit. So this week, officially been diagnosed with psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. Penis. You've been diagnosed with penis. Would have thought liqueur chocolates in the shape of Winehouse. Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty tacky thing to do. And yeah, you probably should be able to find it on Google Images. I did find a picture of the head of it. So I'm not going to share it. You can go look for it if you want. Ooh, speaking of diagnoses, this is not a diagnosis, but Mrs. Angry had what's called a screening test for ADHD because I just generally think I have some behaviors that are consistent with ADHD. And this screening thing, as it's not a diagnosis, but it's like, where do you probably sit on a scale? And it was in two parts. And in one part, and this is about self-control and whatnot, my score was low, as in it doesn't seem like I have a thing that affects my self-control. But the other one about getting distracted and fidgeting, I was in the high range, as in more than the average person in our society. I'm also reminded because I'm just fidgeting as I tell you this. At your funeral, you want a cake shaped like you, showcasing the way I died, vanilla's flavored. Okay, duly noted. So yes, I'm definitely not saying I have ADHD, but there was a screening test that said some aspects of my behavior are in the highly likely having ADHD things, which is not the biggest surprise. Like, yeah, when I answered the questions, and when the test results came through, I was like, yep, based on the questions they asked, that is exactly what I expected the results to return. So, yes, if it was negatively impacting my life in a big way, if it was debilitating to me, it might be worth, going through a whole process to get a formal diagnosis. But it isn't significantly debilitating my life, so there isn't really significant value in me pursuing a diagnosis. This woman who got a dick and balls. There are people who get all sorts of wacky shit in headstones. Must have been a very open-minded cemetery that allowed that, because a lot of cemeteries are going to have rules about what you can and can't do with headstones. And the vast majority, I feel comfortable in asserting, the vast majority of cemeteries that have rules would not allow you to have a dick and balls headstone. Not diagnosed, Safa. There's no. Oh, there you go. It's Celtic Housing English. No, there's no diagnosis of ADHD in my family. But then again, that's also like the generations I come from. It's just not a thing that was talked about or considered. So yeah. Yes, you can't even do what you want when you're dead. Still, you're constrained by rules. I do like things like, I've seen videos of funerals with like someone's dying wish. They had a tape recorder put inside, or an MP3 player or something, put inside the cask, and they'd recorded themselves before they died saying, "I'm not dead. Let me out. Let me out." And sort of bang, bang, bang. "Let me out. I'm not dead." And actually having that triggered to play during the church service, that's a boss move, I think. I prefer the one where I've seen this various forms of this, people saying, pay me money and I will attend your funeral wearing like a black dress, a big black hat, and a veil, and huge dark glasses, and I'll just stand to the side, silent and mysterious, smoke a cigarette, and walk away without saying anything to anyone, just to get everyone talking at your funeral. I like that one. Your priority when you die is to lose weight. Well, it's 100% guaranteed, really, over time. You may well make that argument, Justin. But yeah, a formal diagnosis is a whole fucking thing. And again, Mrs. Angry, who is actually a professional in this field, actually agreed that there wouldn't particularly be a significant advantage to me. But it would also be open to if I thought I was suffering because of it. Jude, you get a lot of ads where family bemoans the fact their loved one died without life insurance. They need death insurance. Yeah. Safa, from what I understand, it's quite a drawn-out process, and I believe it probably would cost you. But again, I'm not an expert. Who knows? So, Hannah, follow your best friend in an inflatable dinosaur costume coming down the aisle to the Jurassic Park theme, stopping midway to let out a wailing roar. Nice. Also, a good choice. Like, there's only a few things in life where we get to make these really big choices. You're heading off, Celtic. See you another time, man. It's also not her area of expertise, but there would also be an ethical thing, yes. So it's not something she does in her role. You'd be going to a specialist for that. But yeah, she did say to me, because it's come up in conversation, she goes, well, there is this screening test that identifies indicators and, may help you make a decision if it's something you want to pursue. It basically delivered the exact result I expected it to. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? Meeting your dad's probate lawyer while he's still around, that makes a lot more sense than looking at stuff after someone dies. So understanding what the current state of play is a fairly important thing. If you have the opportunity to do it, you should absolutely do it. Mrs. Angry's lad went to a party the other night, actually just last night, and asked if I could make him a cocktail. So I made him a comparatively low alcohol but very fruity cocktail. Had a couple different fruit juices and white rum and some fruit liqueur and a brandy liqueur in it. And it was actually pretty tasty. It wasn't that strong, but it was pretty tasty. So I thought, yeah, I basically used stuff in it that I don't use very much for myself. It's like, I've got all these things. I've got a whole bunch of fruit liqueurs. I'm going to put some fruit liqueurs in it, some fruit juice, a bit of sugar syrup, and there's a bit of water, like to get it to the right dilution. I had it in a little squeezy drink container, and it went shaky, and it was pretty good. Is white rum more expensive? Generally speaking, no, because white rum tends to be unaged, and the aging process is what's expensive. But you'll get a spectrum of white rums that go anywhere from, $40 to $200. Yeah, well, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are always on the same day of the week. To your dad's death, sad. Ooh, all right. Who knows? Is it Jude? You're looking after people. You need to get another job if they pass on. Damn. Oof. Trying to think how much of this actual rum liqueur is left. I was actually trying to finish it with this cocktail I made. I got it really cheap in a sale. And I don't use it much. It's in this fun stone bottle. Looks like a ceramic stoneware bottle. I just thought it was kind of fun. It's overly sweet, basically. How much is still in here? Oh God, there's still more than I want to drink in there. Okay. I love this thing. It's like the old thing you swig it. You put your and swig it like a pirate. No telling what shape you'll be in. Oof. Throwing your back out. Yeah, but you can make your own. If you're in a position to make your own decisions about what you do, that's pretty good, Justin. Might be in Melbourne on the 3rd of January for your sister's birthday. I hope you have a good birthday. Yeah, that's the other thing. So Homer Simpson has Lisa play the thing with. Classic brandy liqueur. Grape distilled, 2 years in oak. Crafted Australian brandy. %, ABV. Nice cider bottle. Yes, Cat Burglar stole Lisa's sax. There you go. Never stop in the middle of a hoedown. Homer wanted it for thinking music, didn't he? Do the fireside scene from Caveman with Ringo Starr. I am extremely easily entertained, Safa. Might decide to go back and study. Yeah, what the fuck, dude? If the opportunity presents itself, you should do whatever fulfills you, man. Billy has a deep cut. Ringo Starr's 1980 movie Caveman, which I don't think I've seen. Okay, close EQ terms. All right. What's the Discord beeping at me about? Oh, good questions from Rain on the Discord. What everyone's doing at Christmas. You're staying at home. Are you visiting with relatives? What are you cooking? Mrs. Angry and I are going to continue, ideally, I think we found the right place. Continue a tradition we've had for a couple of years of having an Indian food banquet, probably for lunch and dinner on Christmas Day. We've got to get a whole bunch of Indian food and just have it on Christmas Day. Movie couldn't be shown 10 English words, the rest is gibberish. You put subtitles in. You know, because you're a massive Beatles fan. Oh, there you go. You're going to go home and hopefully not get COVID. Oof. Yeah. Oh, Rain, you're actually here. Hello. How you doing? I think everyone should answer the question on the Discord. Yeah, they're not around to actually get it. Yes, if you got money in US dollars, converting to Australian is good, but as Australian to US, not good. Well, maybe, I don't know if your parents are going to be segregating or what. Oh, you're actually fishing for recipes. Okay, so anyone with Christmas meal ideas, put them in the Discord. Rain's fishing for ideas. Nice. Online critique of the Sex Pistols as a boy band. Excellent. When you said Indian buffet, you thought of cannibal buffet. No, we're going to get multiple dishes, Indian food, and have them on Christmas. So Christmas is 4 dogs, 2 mums, 2 sisters, and 1 cat. And your stepdad. Your stepdad gave it to your mum. Damn. Do you do a massive cookie bake-off? But osteoarthritis, disc disease. Oh, damn. Yeah, okay. I can see that taking the energy out of you. So your mum is segregating because it's she's got it bad. You have to add 35% of the price of everything. Oh, yeah. When working out how much money you're spending in the US, that's always did my head in. One time I was in the US, the exchange rate was about what it is now. Another time it was close to parity. Yet again, money is imaginary. It only has value that people agree that it has. And the system is fucking stacked so that the powerful always win and the marginalized always lose. Oh, yeah, Rain, you missed apparently Safa's mum is pretty bad hit by COVID. Earth, you're doing a Christmas ice cream cake, ice cream and toy. Oh, that sounds fucking great. That sounds really good. Well, egg prices are going to be up because fucking they're having to kill huge amounts of chickens because of bird flu outbreaks. Oh, it's your first Christmas with your mum in 3 years. All right. Well, COVID is literally an influenza. And if it really gets you, it really fucks you up. Some people, well, obviously, there's a lot, death is a comparatively low risk, but it obviously happens. But yeah, some people, even like really healthy young people, like cop a bad dose of it, have been absolutely incapacitated, like can't even walk around a room without running out of breath. So even though everyone acts like COVID's over, it isn't. It absolutely is not. And we won't know for decades the full impact of it. Because it fucking sucks. But anyway, you know what we've come to? We've come to 10 o'clock. And I am actually getting up early and going into the office tomorrow for the last time until after Australia Day. I'm not going to go into the office. I am not on leave until 6th January, but I'm not going into the office again after tomorrow. Going in tomorrow, and that's fucking it. Unless I get more things I want to go into the post office for. Who fucking knows? Anyway, but that's my plan. Tomorrow's my last time in the office till after Australia Day. So I'm going to go sleepy burbers. Oh God, Earth. That's the other thing. It is absolutely possible with any medication to have an adverse reaction, and yeah, having to have that discussion or argument. Damn. But anyway, so I'm going sleepy berbers now, so I can get up early without too much trauma. This will be my last time. If I can manage it, this will be my last time in the CBD for quite a while. So I think it'll either be really quiet or really fucking psycho with all these desperate people doing last minute shopping. But who knows? Who knows? I'll fill you in on Tuesday. But I'm going to bed now. What are we watching? Probably finishing Rivals on Disney, which I do recommend people watch. It's fun and silly and 80s. And also The Good Place on Netflix. So, damn. But Christmas Eve. 90% likely to be doing a Christmas Eve stream. If this eggnog didn't make me sick, I'll probably have some more of it on Christmas Eve. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, I'll see you all later. Bye for now. Bye.
You are totally fucked up!